see, where is my look, everybody. I'm all over the place today. Um, let me go back. Hey, we've got somebody from Facebook. I can't see your name, but welcome. Bear with me just 1 minute here because I'm unsure of where my stuff is. But as I get this together, what what I find very interesting, to say the least, I'll say, is how how do we get here? How do we get to the point? Here it is. Um, how do we get to the point of these tests? Should we believe them? Are they valid? And should we disregard them? I put this along the lines of anything related to anything we see online. Trust nothing, especially with AI. I trust nothing and I trust no one because I, I don't know all the considerations and I don't know the environment in which you're using to truly test everything. Now, if you would like to read through here, they do give a description of what deliverability is, their methodologies. They're using a testing tool. Um, you can learn more about that testing tool here, and blah 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 blah. Here is the image that has been floating around, specifically for me, to LinkedIn, and this is the one that I have a bit of an issue with, and here's why. I am all for testing things technically. In fact, you can argue we don't test enough things technically. And by technically, I mean, if you've got an internet, if you've got a router at home, many of you do, test the speed. Make sure you're getting all the megabits per second that you should be getting. If you have a vehicle and it's telling you you should be getting 30 miles per gallon, test that and ensure that what they're saying matches up. If you have an iPhone or any type of cell phone and it says, hey, we're giving you 18 hours of battery life, absolutely test and ensure that the technical specs match up with real life performance and behavior. If you're live with me on LinkedIn and Facebook, you can comment and I will see it. I just won't see your name until afterwards. So if you want me to shout out your name, just make sure you put your name in the comment when you place one. So I understand where technically testing something comes into play. I really do. But we all know real life is totally different. You can have a cell phone that says, hey, we guarantee 18 hours of battery life. You'll never have to charge. But then the fine print that's like moderate use, not streaming a lot of video, and they've got all these clauses. And here you go, heavy YouTube user, maybe you're commuting, watching movies on your phone, and you can't get over 10 hours, right? So it doesn't make the technical specs wrong. It just makes the real life application different from what the tech specs are saying. So that's what I feel for this article is I'm not claiming that these tech specs are wrong. What I'm claiming is in my personal real life implementing myself, clients, friends, everything, I have never seen this to be true. Never seen this to be true. And I'm going to speak specifically about what I'm talking about. In all of my years, I have never seen anything close to this. Not even close. And here's what I mean. Active Campaign, I'm not going to argue Active Campaign. It's great software. I use it. Yes, there's some improvements, like all software can have improvements, but I don't have a gripe with Active Campaign. Guess what? Contrary to popular belief, I don't even have a gripe with Constant Contact. I think that's fair. Constant Contact is used by a lot of nonprofits, a lot of small businesses. They run commercials, ads. They've got the money to back it up. Here's where I start drawing an exception. Get response. There is no way on planet Earth Get response is third. There's no way. And I'm not saying this out of hate or spite. I've been a get response, quiet as kept. I've been a get response user longer than I've been an active campaign user. Get response was my second. Aweber was my first email autoresponder. And I have kept that account for almost 12 years now. 12 years, maybe more. It may be more. I was working at Lockheed Martin as a corporate engineer when I got Get Response. So that's at least 12 years ago. So I may be a Get Response user of 14 years. Now, I am not speaking from I hate Get Response. Get Response in its day was one of the best platforms, email marketing platforms out. However, I continue every single week. I have an autoresponder. It goes out maybe 600-day autoresponder, daily motivations, things of that nature. It has nothing to do with automation, except the fact that that's automated. I can't count how many times people tell me, hey, I'm no longer getting the emails. Hey, it's going to spam. And there's no easy fix for it. I've reached out to Get Response. I've tried to have them re-opt in. It has been the biggest pain for this is a small subset of people. This is under 1,000 people on this list. Can you imagine if that list was much bigger? I can't even imagine the amount of emails I'd be receiving. So from personal experience, no, I cannot at all get with that. In fact, I would claim that MailChimp, I mean, it's only a 1% difference, but I would claim MailChimp is probably second. There's a lot of here, watch this, everybody. Just test it. You've got the technical information here. What I'm saying is go test it in your real life. Go into your email inbox right now and go to your junk folder, your spam folder. Look at what autoresponders are landing in that spam folder. The proof is in the pudding. I have to give it to MailChimp. Very rarely do I get MailChimp emails in the spam folder. When somebody sends me an email, if it's a SaaS company or whatever, and they're using MailChimp, it usually lands in the primary inbox. Now, MailerLite, I don't have personal experience with them, although I know right now they're going through a huge deliverability thing, which again, tech just changes. I'm not docking this company points for that, but MailerLite had to issue a notice that they're experiencing deliverability issues with the new DMARC, SPF, and all of that stuff. Now, MailJet, I don't know. Brevo, I don't know. Clever Reach, I've never used these personally. But I'll say this, HubSpot, 73% deliverability. There's no way. Nobody can convince me of that. I'm not a heavy HubSpot user, okay? But the times that I have used HubSpot, their emails performed better than every other autoresponder to date at a large size. And perhaps that's the caveat with a lot of this data that we're looking at. I'm talking about email lists of over 250,000, right? 250,000 contacts or higher. I have seen HubSpot consistently get emails delivered to the inbox when other platforms struggle. I'm telling you this from experience. I've seen active campaign accounts in the millions get pretty good deliverability. That's why I'm saying I don't have a gripe with active campaign, because I've actually seen it. I've witnessed it with my own eyes in multiple accounts across a wide variety of different business types, e-commerce, service-based, physical products, whatever the case may be. Active campaign, I've seen them have good deliverability. I have. I've never seen HubSpot have terrible deliverability. So my question is not only in the technology, was that a glitch, but also in the application. HubSpot users, tell me I'm lying, but your emails are not landing in spam. Let me tell you who's in spam right now. I'm not going to pull it up because I don't want to put anybody on blast. Entreport in spam very consistently, very consistently. Keep is in spam very consistent. It's 50-50. I think that Keep is it really is improving. But Entreport definitely lands in my spam the most consistently. And I would just like to say, for the amount of people that use Go High Level right now, I know they're sending more emails than some of the platforms mentioned here. So my other question, I don't have any gripes with this report. Remember, technically it's probably sound. The Glock Apps tool probably did its thing, but who cares what Glock App says if you can't actually get that performance? Who cares if the phone is going to promote 24 hours of battery life when you can only get 5? Throw the box away, throw the specs away. In real life, HubSpot is not going to be 73%. I invite anybody to prove me wrong, and a HubSpot user come to me and say, hey, look, Chris, here's what I've been sending, and it just keeps landing in spam. I just haven't seen it. I haven't. There was a time, I won't detail the company, but I was using another autoresponder, another email marketing platform, and the email sending was slow, and we could not reach the inbox consistently. It had dropped below like 50% maybe. And we switched to HubSpot immediately. No IP warm up, no hey, let's send a few filler emails out. None of that. Immediately, not only did the emails start going out faster, but our deliverability shot up at least 30%. At least 30%. So I can't trust. I tried to read this and give it some credence. I can't trust a platform that runs their tests and HubSpot is so low and GetResponse is so high. Those are two that's like an oxymoron. They can't exist in the same sentence, let alone the same graph. So with that being said, go ahead and read this article for yourself. I don't have the link, nor do I feel the need to share it because I don't really believe it. But and look at this. Least likely to be flagged as spam. GetResponse, least likely. Half of my emails. I get, when they did the DMARC and SPF, and I did that for my GetResponse account and my active campaign. I did it across the board. Now the maybe 2 weeks after I did it, before the 1st of February though, but a couple weeks afterwards, I started getting emails from people saying, hey, your emails are no longer landing in my spam. So that led me to believe that maybe GetResponse was early to the gate. Maybe they were early out the gate, I'll say, and you needed to do your DMARC and SPF records and DKIM stuff prior to February 1st. Maybe. But I've got at least 8 years of experience that is opposite of this least likely. I don't get a lot of people using GetResponse, honestly. When I go into my junk mail and I click that unsubscribe button to see what platform they're using, I don't know if I've ever received an email from GetResponse. So I know they're a Polish company, and they have more of an international group and base than a American base. And maybe that's what speaks for it. Maybe I'm the exception. I'm the one little person, right, in America when globally they're getting all types of better responses and deliverability. I just don't believe it. Prove me wrong. But yeah, you can definitely go through this. And here's what's important about calls like this, and even our membership community and everything else, is that the second this company hit publish, this was outdated. That's how fast tech moves. They probably published this. It says January 2024, but MailerLite just announced today, or at least I'm seeing it today, that they're having deliverability issues. That would definitely impact the stars that I would give that platform when no other platform is having those issues. I've got friends that are saying, hey, look, if you're using MailerLite right now, hold off on sending email. What if you're in the middle of a launch? What if you need to send email right now to actually make money? People actually do that. Email to make money. Can you imagine a platform rendering your list useless because they don't have their deliverability in place? Yet on here, they've got 4.5 stars. All right. So am I trying to flame this company? Absolutely not. I have no issue with whoever runs this. Um, these authors here, Charlotte, Inca, they're probably great writers. They're probably just reporting on what they've written or the data that they've been given. I don't have any issue with them. All I'm telling to you all, in the vein of responsible, automate responsibly, okay, is look at the specs. Yes, they gave us the specs, but that's it. In real life conditions, that car may not be getting you 30 miles per gallon. That phone may not be getting you 24 hours, right? That laptop may not give you a full days of charge before it goes out. These platforms, ain't no may, are not going to be giving you the deliverability that they're claiming they give you. You need to test it out. Your list is specific to your audience and the cadence in which you're mailing. Last thing I'll say, this could very well be a difference of users. Maybe more people that use Aweber are using it in a spam type way, giving it a false negative. Whereas if you use Aweber with integrity, you don't have these deliverability issues. There's just a whole lot. So they took a big bite trying to do a deliverability report across the board. But I would have loved to see, if you're going to put Active Campaign, Constant Contact, MailChimp, these are small business, email autoresponders. I would love to see like the Keeps and the Entreports and see how they fare, because a lot of people are using that, and definitely go high level since it's up and coming. And maybe this is my world. Maybe these things just matter to me. And then there's a whole nother world where nobody knows about high level and nobody's using Keep and nobody's using Entreport. I doubt it. I highly doubt it. I seriously doubt it. But it'd have been good to see some of that representation over like Clever Reach, Benchmark. I've heard of that, but I don't know a lot of people that use it. Mailjet, Moosend. Again, nothing against any of these companies. I'm just talking about the most common, the more common email autoresponders in 2024. And perhaps maybe I need to write an article about the most common email autoresponders in 2024. And then somebody else will come and say, how can he say this is the most common and miss out? So it happens. That's why I'm telling you all, I don't have a gripe with this company at all. But for deliverability, it's email tool tester. It could be emailfactfinder.com. It doesn't matter to me. The name is replaceable. The data, though, the data. I'm just saying, from my personal experience, will throw this in the trash, because this is not true to real life experience. Again, not in my business, in multiple businesses that I have been involved with or responsible with. Klaviyo. I know for a fact Klaviyo sends more emails than half of the providers listed here. At least half. In the day and age where e-commerce, Shopify, everything is just really taking off in a way that we've never seen it, and it's not mentioned, I must stop, because if I keep going, it's going to sound like I'm bad mouthing this company, and I'm not. I'm just telling you all, do not just look at something, blindly accept it, because maybe your tool made it in the top 3 Constant Contact users. Maybe they're sharing this is why I use Constant Contact. I love it. See? Okay. All right. Share it with caution is all I'm saying. So let me end that part on a good note and say, great job, Email Tool Tester, for compiling this. This is very thoroughly written. I love the fact that they did define what they're saying deliverability is. And this was not just thrown together. They got graphic designers that put this together. Very well written. You can easily navigate throughout the entire article. So I do want to highlight the fact that I appreciate they put this together. Without this, I don't have content right now to discuss. So because of this, now it's being discussed, at least by me and definitely by others because they're sharing. But I see a lot of blind sharing, you know. I'm not going to name any names, but perhaps the top tool on this list has people that work there that are just like, look at us. It's easy when some website says this is good, but does the real life use case add up? Let's just say, for instance, constant contact. You work for constant contact. You see this. Hey, we're ranked number 2. Da, 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 da. But real life application does not match that. Somebody looks at it, people look at it, they read it, they're like, yes, constant contact answers my question. Sign up and get something totally different. That's all I want you all to be mindful of. All right. Be mindful that real life use case will differ greatly from what you're seeing here. And if you have a email service provider that you're using and you want some insight, should I be using this? How should I be using it? This is actually what calls like this are for. All right. Places like we have are for this so that you can get trusted insight and feedback instead of going to the open marketplace just saying, hey, who likes MailChimp? Hey, who likes MailJet? I see these posts all the time. It's just in a random Facebook group. Hey, should I use MailChimp? And you may get a couple people that ask clarifying questions like, well, what is your business? How do you plan to use it? How often do you send emails? How big is your list? Right? All the questions that really matter. But you always have a smorgasbord of people who just want to spit out the platform that they're using. And it's so unhelpful. It's so confusing and it's a lot of things. So we don't do that. This is what this call is for. This is what my membership academy is for. And with that being said, that's the main thing that I wanted to speak with you all or share with you all today publicly amongst the channels. What we're going to do is go ahead and end this, log off in the next 30 minutes for members only. If you're in the membership community, stay on the Zoom call with me, and then you and all of you and myself can continue to have conversations around this and perhaps anything else. So let me sign off. Thank you all for joining, and see you all next time we run our live.